Going to test real quick. Can you guys hear me? We good in the back? All right. Afterwards, we're going to do a little bit of karaoke. So you got to pick out your songs. Have them ready. Ben, what are you going to pick? Betsy, how we doing?
We're doing good.
All right. Just want to thank everybody for coming out here today. Tremendous showing, and I know Owen would be grateful for all the faces that he's always seen for the last 20 years. So thank you for coming out. Excuse the microphone, but all right. Thank you all for being here. Being that today is Valentine's Day, I'd like to begin by taking a page from Councilwoman Denise Harland. Last City Council meeting, she spoke about the heart, and that stayed with me. So, heart and love. The heart is more than an organ that keeps us alive. It is a symbol of everything that makes life worth living. When we speak about love, we do not point to our heads. We place our hands over our hearts. That's because love is just not a thought, it is felt. Love is the quiet strength that carries us through loss, is the warmth that comforts us in difficult moments. It is the joy we feel when we see someone we care about smile at us. Love gives us meaning to our days and depth to our lives. A loving heart is courageous. It forgives. It gives without keeping score. And it shows up again and again, even when it is not easier to do so. When all is said and done, what remains is love we share and the lives we've changed. Because when the heart leads, love follows. And where there's love, there is meaning. Before anything else here, I'd like to recognize the most important people here today, Owen's family. Owen shared 62 wonderful years with his beloved wife, Marshall Elizabeth Turner. And Owen was a devoted husband, father, grandfather, and great-grandfather who loved his family very much. With us today, we have Betsy Duke, Owen's daughter. We have her partner, Julie. We have Owen's grandson, Hunter. We have Owen's granddaughter, Ashford, and her husband, Taylor Matthew. I'm sorry, Taylor. Goodness gracious. Joined by the internet over here, we have Owen's wife, and we've got Aiden Matthews. Is it Clark and Harris? Clark and Harris. All right. And Warren Matthews. And newborn Adler Owen Nelson. How old is he now?
1 month.
1 month old.
And my daughter Carlisle.
And Darla Carlisle, that's right. I'm sorry. We also remember today Owen's son, Captain Owen Eugene Duke III, who preceded him in death, and whom Owen missed every single day. To the Duke family, thank you for sharing him with us. We're truly grateful. We are also honored this morning to have with us Mayor of Plantation, Nick Sortle. He's running for re-election. We have Councilwoman Denise Orland. Thank you for showing up. Councilmember Tim Fadgett. And Councilwoman Susan Starkey of the City of Davie. Thank you, Susan. We got Eric Anderson here. I'm so sorry. I'm just reading off the paper here. Councilman Eric Anderson here. Thank you for showing up here. Truly an honor. A special thanks to Councilwoman Susan Starkey, Anthony Pereira for providing the coffee and pastries this morning. That is Ella Cafe. They have locations in Plantation and Davie. If you knew Owen, it was one of his favorite places to eat. Owen loved his sweets. Owen was presented with the proclamation just last week here during the week, and truly thank the city of Plantation, the mayor, the council members for making that happen. So thank you very much. For me, my name is Matthew Ridgway, and I was blessed to work side by side with Owen Duke. We are here today to celebrate Owen Duke, and this location was not chosen by chance. Everything that you see around you here today, Owen had his hand in making it possible. This very space where we're seated was just an open field. The only building was the beautiful four-stone one that you see over to your left. Owen started from humble beginnings. His first job was mixing concrete. From there, he became an appraiser, rose to the lead of production at Equitable Life, and just 26 years old, started his own development company. He built one of the largest brokerage firms in Alabama before going on to major projects in Washington, D.C., leading record-setting land sales and earning recognition as one of the top commercial brokers in the metropolitan market. He later helped guide developments across Denver, Phoenix, San Antonio, Princeton, Tampa, and right here in the city of Plantation. In every city Owen went, he was involved. The city of Plantation was no exception. He served as the Chamber of Commerce. He was a board member at the HCA Westside Regional Hospital. He was part of the Midtown Development Advisory Board, to name a few. Plantation was not just where he worked. It was where he invested all his time, his leadership, and his heart. Earlier, we spoke about heart. Owen was genuinely interested in what you had to say. He would ask you at lunch, and hours would just fly by. And of course, at lunch, he would finish off with his favorite dessert, vanilla ice cream with coffee poured over it. If you ever doubted yourself, Owen would look at you and say, "Of course you can do it." Encouragement was his gift. Owen could also be stern. If you ever had the pleasure of being on his bad side, and I'll admit, I was there a few times, you know the look. It was a stare. It was the kind that made you reconsider your decisions immediately. He was generous, and he was a great teacher. I remember calling him 4 times back to back, thinking he's not going to answer this time for sure. He always did. He always found the time. Mentorship was his legacy. He mentored many. To name a few, Lynn O'Donnell, CEO of USA Real Estate, Bryson Ridgway of NLX Capital, Anthony Pereira of Exuma Capital, and myself, to name a few. As you can see from the settings back behind you, Owen also loved painting. He loved reading. He loved writing. As you see from the artwork behind you, he was talented at just about everything that he did, though he'd never admit it. His true first job was teaching other kids how to paint while he was still in grade school. He always laughed. He would make more money than the teachers did. Owen believed in people, sometimes more than they believed in themselves. He just didn't build buildings. He built confidence. He built careers. He built friendships. He built community. Actually, Owen was funny. I remember we had a leak at one of the buildings over here at ICA. It happened randomly, and we had no idea where it was coming from. We tried everything, new drains, gutters. Nothing worked. One morning, after about an hour discussion, Owen leaned back and said, "We don't know what the hell we're talking about." He could always make light of any situation. Even when it seemed impossible, he brought perspective and a smile. That was Owen. Practical, persistent, grounded, human. But as we sit here today and overlook the lake that he loved, surrounded by the buildings he helped create, we are reminded of his greatest work just wasn't concrete and contracts. It was people. And when it's all said and done, What remains is the love he shared and the lives he's changed. That was Owen's legacy, and it lives on with each and every single one of us. I'd like to put up to this point, if anybody would like to say some additional words. Now we have two. Taylor, would you like to come on up? You need your scooter?
I'm good.
Okay. Any background music? Okay.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tyler Matthews. Good to see y'all. I am Ashford, so Owen's granddaughter's husband. So grandson-in-law might be the official title for today. And we were talking, we live in Jacksonville, so right up the road, and we were driving down yesterday, and Ashford and I were sharing stories of Owen, and a few things came to mind. First was, as a son-in-law, you're always curious, and we can all resonate with, you're curious of how is your spouse's family going to accept you. And meeting Owen was actually one of the earlier steps in my kind of son-in-law journey of my courtship of Ashford. And I remember being here in Plantation and stopping by his office and going to lunch at a restaurant right over here on the corner with the outdoor patio, and that I think has maybe changed over a few times. But nonetheless, he was curious, he was fun, he was accepting, and that was my first impression of this family that now I've been married into for over 10 years. And so we were talking about that, and I just saw another thing was how much he loved his granddaughter. And to me, that showed just the man he was, the character he had, and how much he cared for his family. At the time, I was in school in D.C., of which he obviously had built a big business. And Matthew, to your point of Owen being a connector, he connected me with one of his broker friends. And at the time, I was getting my finance degree and didn't know exactly what side of the development I wanted to be on. And I remember Owen introducing me to one of his business partners and showing up at his house. And, I mean, incredibly gracious gentleman, straight out of central casting for commercial brokerage, in the sense of, we're in Bethesda, we're in this man's house, he's in a blazer, no socks, loafers, we're smoking cigars in his office, 2 golden retrievers on the floor, and literally, and I'm 20 in grad school, and like, what the hell am I, like, where am I? And I remember just this man telling me an hour and a half worth of stories over a cigar of Owen and him doing all these deals all over Metro DC, and just being mesmerized by this legend of Owen Duke and him just dominating that market for such a long time. And so in that regard, I think Owen is just such a connector. He, opened up these relationships, introduced me, and said, Tyler, like, go get them. Another thing that I wanted to bring, we actually, and I'm sort of struggling here with one hand, but this here we had on the kitchen table of Owen's house this morning. This is the Bridgewater News from March of 2009. And I know many people here serve on different boards and commissions and HOAs or CDDs or you name it. And so at this moment in time, Owen held the glorious role of being the news editor for the HOA newsletter. And I think this article that I'm going to read you real quick shows me exactly Owen Duke. It's professional, but it's really fun. It's really playful. So let me read this to you because these are really funny. This is the newsletter for the neighborhood. All right, so the section of this article is Storm Shutter Rule. It says storm shutters must remain open except during and in anticipation of a storm. The exception, ? They may be closed for up to 2 weeks during hurricane season if you are out of town. For an extension, you may contact a committee member or just leave them closed. We can always use your fine money. Let me give you one more because these are great. All right, this one titled The Poop Wars. Right here, top left, The Poop Wars. It had to happen. The dog poopers are striking back. They have informed me the cat poopers are letting their cats roam free to poop in the community at will while blaming it on the dog poop guys. Most insisted the poop patrol should have been able to distinguish between dog poop and cat poop. Do they take classes in this crap? ? What will happen when both dog and cat poopers discover that ducks are probably pooping in the lakes? Bridgewater needs a somewhat sane and savvy poop czar. Any volunteers? Now the footnote. This is just a reminder that according to Section 8, 4 of the covenants, your cats fall under the broad pet rule. They can't roam free. So I thought these are classic in the sense of, right, Owen held the standard. Owen had huge beliefs in what his community should be and held that standard, whether it's storm shelters or your cats roaming free. But he was playful, he was fun, he was professional, and this is the Owen Duke we know and love. And so, in closing, I would say that I have 3 boys. My wife and I, Asher, have 3 boys. They're 8, 6, and 4 today. And I can't wait to continue to tell the stories of them. We have art of Owen around our house. We have the family piano that comes from a few generations. And with every piece of art, with the piano, with every book he sent, there was always a letter. And the letters are taped to the back of the art or under the piano, and it's the story of the legacy of it. And they're as playful as fun as this newsletter at the HOA. So in closing, we're going to miss him dearly. And I can't wait to tell our 8, 6, and 4-year-old the legend of their great-grandfather. Thank you.
Anybody else? Do we have any takers? I was going to hand out some raffle tickets here, and I just didn't get around to it. We've got tons of Owen's artwork here, tons of Owen's quotes that he did over the years. Betsy, I know that we just tons and tons of books of composite books of them. So if you'd like something over here at the tent, feel free. If you see somebody else picking you up, please contact me, and I can have a copy made for you and have it sent to you or link up with you. Give me 1 second here. The wind picked up. That's a good thing. Yeah, and to that, if you see a photo here today that speaks to you, or if there's a quote that resonates with you, please take a piece of Owen home with you. Owen believed in sharing, and I think he'd like knowing that parts of his story, his words, and his spirit continue on in your homes and offices. Thank you all again for being here, and what a tremendous man here. You will not be forgotten here, Owen. You all live within us. So thank you very much for everybody coming here. It truly means a lot. Thank you.
The benches.
Benches and the plaque.
Talk about the benches and plaque.
So the benches and the plaque. Yes, we're looking for the 2 benches. We're looking for the permits. So I need to get the. I've got to talk to the. That's exactly what we're looking at. So we're going to get the rough sketch, and then we did some research from I think it was Danny Holmes from Planning and Zoning. We got to go 18 inches down and then 18 inches across, or we could do 4 inches and then do a mesh covering. But sure enough, we will have these put in. It is for the best life safety here. We've heard a lot of life safety lately. Which city is this? We're not too far, right? Yes, for Owen's plaque here, I'll read it out loud. It's honoring Owen E. Duke, born April 27th, 1939, and left us on October 17th, 2025. It reads, a visionary community builder whose passion brought the Cornerstone Park to life and enriched the city of Plantation, and much more. Put something on there, and it took us a long time to see what to do. If you knew Owen, didn't want to want all the attention. And it's just kind of how he was. So I don't know, Owen. I'll have to chat with you soon here. It's a life lived with intention, guided by experience, and defined by generosity, care, and quiet strength. Betsy shared something with me with some of Owen's writing, and if you read it, you wouldn't know it coming from Owen. He truly did care about just about everything. He cared about his legacy, and passing that on. And Eddington Duke, it's something to remember. And I have a number of things that sit on my desk with Owen, and it's a number of things that when Owen was upset with me, he wrote something down, and it's on that table up there. I laminated it while he was still around, and I just didn't want to lose it. It's always be truthful, always be honest, speak with intention, be stoic, and the last one was always be polite when saying no. Always say it with a chuckle and a smile. With Owen, you could talk to him for 3 or 4 hours and learn just about anything. He's such a humble person that just the small amount of time that I got with him was just every single day. It's 3 or 4 hours in the morning, and we would talk about business or we would talk about personal life. I always thoroughly enjoyed seeing what perspective he had, because it was something that was learned and thought after and thought through Owen's eyes. And he read a ton of books, and I truly valued his opinion, as we all did. But yes, a life lived with attention, guided by experience, and defined by generosity, care, and quiet strength. City of Plantation, we will get this bench put in there permanently. I know we were talking to the association. I don't know who's the president over here, but we got to talk to them, right? Who is that guy? Yes, thank you all for coming. I will give another opportunity if anybody else wants to come up and share anything. I'll give you another 5 or 10 seconds here. Again, thank you to Ella Cafe, Susan Starkey, and Anthony Pereira for providing the refreshments, and thank you all for coming to celebrate Owen Duke's life. We've got Drew Irvine. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I met Owen probably about a decade ago, and he came to my booth when I was painting in Las Olas, and came around and started asking some questions, and then he disappeared and came back a couple hours later, and started asking more questions about different things of art, and I had different things in my booth, and then he disappeared again and came back later in the afternoon and said, "Can you paint me a wood stork?" I was like, "What the heck's a wood stork?" Long story short, he goes, "Well, I've got this place in the backyard where I want to put a painting so I don't have to look at this ugly brown fence." And I'm like, all right, well, that's kind of unusual, but I said, sure, I'd love to do a commission painting. And so I did, and my wife and I delivered it down. We were living in Vero Beach at the time. We drove it down, and it was late in the afternoon, turning dark. And Owen's like, "Why don't you stay over?" All right. Next thing you know, we had a couple cordials and some coffee, and we're talking. It's about 1 a.m. He's like, "Well, you want to stay over?" My wife and I are like, "All right, it's kind of creepy, but we don't know this guy." Okay, you've seen it on us. I don't know. I've seen this SUV TV, and so we spent the night. And then we wake up in the morning. My wife's like, "Well, what do we do? Should we go outside and see if he's there? What do we do?" And he's in there. He's like, "How do you want your omelet?" Really? And he made the best omelet. It was great. Had coffee, and we sat there for another couple hours talking to Owen. It was fantastic, and we kind of just made this instant friendship right then and there. And the last installation I did was in a building over here. I'm sure maybe some of you have seen the paintings. There's 5 of them. And then he said, the last time I saw him, he said, "Drew, paint me people." I said, "What do you mean people?" He goes, "Well, paint the person, or paint the jazz scene, or paint people on the beach, or just anything with people in it. I said, all right, well, I'm not good at people. He goes, exactly. I was like, all right. So I took the assignment. I went home back to St. Pete, where my wife and I live, and I just started coming up with some sketches, and I found this picture of this woman sitting in a chair. I'm like, that's fantastic. And it was a photograph, but I kind of made it my style. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but it's hanging in his house. And so when Matthew talked to me about a month ago, and he said, Drew, I'd like you to attend. That'd be great. And I said, well, why don't I paint a picture of Owen? And I'm like, I don't do people, Owen. And it was almost like he was behind my back going, now you signed up for it. Here you go. So I don't know if you've seen it, but that's my rendition of Owen Duke. On the back it says a tribute. That's the title of the painting. And he was a great man, and we haven't really spoken yet, but we've been texting back and forth, and I'm just glad and honored to be here today. It's been a decade of Owenisms, and it's been fantastic. And we had just started up last year doing more projects, and he wanted to put me in the newspaper and do all these fun things, and I'm like, okay. So every time I came over here, we'd spend the day just brainstorming and or going to lunch or doing some fun things. But I'm just really glad to be here today and meet all you folks, and I'm glad I could paint my first portrait ever. So hopefully Owen's looking down and going, all right, you nailed it, kid. Anyone else?
Okay, so my name is Fran Fitzpatrick. I live up in Vermont, and I wasn't planning for that anything. I did write it down just in case, and I figured I might offer a slightly different perspective than a lot of folks here that know him very well. A lot of the things I might say you've already heard or you already know about him, but I'm going to read it because I'm not a great public speaker. So, as we all know, Mr. Duke was a beautiful man. He was soft-spoken as a Southern gentleman, but you were unwise to underestimate his wisdom and strength. We were all blessed to have him in our lives in some small or large way. As I mentioned, my wife and I live up in Vermont, but we have a condo here in Jupiter, and every time we come down, we would arrange to have lunch with Mr. Duke and catch up. So we tried hard to stay in touch. Mr. Duke's and Marshall's son and Betsy's brother, Wen, as we called him, Owen E. Duke III, was one of my best friends at the Naval Academy. We went to the prep school together up in Newport, Rhode Island. That's where we really grew close. And as you know, he died tragically when we were around 30 years old. And that is by far the hardest thing for any parent to endure. It's always there. And that was true for Mr. Duke, for Marshall, and for Betsy. It's always there. So staying in touch with Mr. Duke helped me stay close to Wen, and I hope perhaps gave Mr. Duke a bit of Wen as well. Not that we talked about Wen all the time, but just the fact that I was having lunch with Mr. Duke, and Wen was the common denominator, perhaps made Wen present for us both. And more than that, Mr. Duke was always listening, and he always imparted wisdom, as many of you have already said. Amazing man, and now we'll miss them both.
I'm not going to get up here long. I'll start crying. But thank you for everything so much. My dad adored plantation. Every time we would come in, we would all get in the car with my dad, which if y'all rode in the car with my dad, you would know what that experience is like. He didn't turn his neck, so God help anybody to the right or left of him. But he adored plantation, and he showed us every time we came in, everything new, everything that's great, and he loved this town, and he loved every bit of it. And thank you for sharing my dad with us. We really appreciate this and everything. I can't talk anymore.
Thank you all for sharing. Love the upbeat stories and the history of Owen here. just a tremendous man. As you all know. Again, he lives through us, in us, and his wisdom that he shared with us, his experience that he's given us, will always stay there. He doesn't die today. He lives on with all of us here. Thank you again. If I'll give you one last chance, if anybody else wants to come up and speak. All right. Thank you again for all showing up and celebrating Owen's life. We'll hope to all chit chat soon here. Thank you all.
Hey, how are you? Good. Nice to see you. Wow. Thank you.
My wife was going to come, but she's out with us.
How old is your son now?
All those times we were put together, and I'll never forget the first time he came into my home. I really love it. You feel like he's so fun. Kids. I thought I knew.
You always thought they were a riot. He was like, you're wild, your ex wild.
Well, we think like we all serve a lot of work.
I mean, what you're here.
It wasn't, you know, I was fortunate to
That's you come over, you know. Hi.
Hi, Teddy.
Live downtown in San Marco area.
Okay.
She's up downtown. But we're moving pretty soon.
Tyler, first house. What's your connection to them? That's awesome. Amazing, well done. Hi.
Sheila, her spouse. This is my son, Hunter.
Hi, Hunter.
All right, sorry. Oh, go ahead.
A friend of Owen's up in Point. He had a lot of projects up in the north.
You drive us up there.
Our favorite spots. Everybody knows. Oh, you're going to Owen again? Like that. So. I love juice, so it was awesome.
That's so nice.
Yep. Sorry for your loss. Easy, but did you ever find out what it is? Absolutely. Oh, that one down. What's the chance? Did you take the whole?
It's on Facebook Live, so then I'll download it.
So download it. Just tell me the link.
Yeah.
Yeah, please do. Anyway.
That's the only way I can figure out how to do it. Is if you do Facebook Live, and then I can download it. Making our lives better.
I'll make sure I include it in the show. Thank you.
So, That didn't work very well. I think I had it on the wrong side. I am Betsy. Oh, hi. I was so looking forward to working with you. I really was. And he did. And like I told you, right? He patted my hand after the meeting that we had 3 hours. That was it, right? That's my hand. He said she got this. And I said, oh, so, but not in a condescending way. He was such a gentleman all the way. He would stand when I came into the room. He would pull the chair out for us. He treated women with dignity and respect. I really saw that. So I will miss him. Every once in a while, I curse him, and I get up and I say, "Wait a minute! You were supposed to teach me this. Well, where are you now?" That's right. You know, I'm saying that too. I know. It's like everything he says, a lot of it, and we're trying to chase like a lot of them, trying to find Matthew and I are trying to put pieces of Humpty Dumpty's together. Well, that's the same with the house too, selling and everything. Well, it's always the same. They bought and sold so many houses in their lifetime, and he did it all. Like, and so now I'm like, what do I do? Exactly. And the lessons learned, I feel. I'm more aware of what I need to do to prepare my children with some things that I need for them to have. Because it's not just going to be always here. So I'm starting to make notes, put files together, and make sure. I mean, it was a big. Well, I keep saying I'm very happy for COVID because I think that made him. He went through everything he did and simplified everything. Yeah. And so I was like, thank goodness for that. Because at that point, I know because he had, because we flipped in so many places, and so many different households, but he had simplified everything. Well, he may have done that with here and there, but on buildings, it was like difficult because he had stuff at the house, and we weren't gracious enough to let Matthew get what we needed to keep going as a business. Otherwise, it was like I said, I could start blindly with accounts payables and receivables, but some of the other leases I don't have. I didn't have this, I didn't have that. So yeah, it was interesting. Matthew had everything. Yeah, well, Matthew had access to everything. Yeah, he ended up actually better than me with sending stuff finally, but then he's trying to keep afloat. Business, and he's trying to help people with this. I wish we had the hotline. Every day. And I talk, my mom passed many years ago, and she was 62. So I still talk to her today. I've got her urn. I just can't let her go yet. She wanted to be sprinkled somewhere, and I said, put them together. And I know you know. But I still talk to her. I still need her. For a while, I really thought she was still around. I mean, I was in the bathroom one time. Owen was over here, and I moved my makeup mirror over here as I put on my makeup and stuff like that. And I felt something pull my phone. So I had my hair up, and I'm like, nobody's in the room. And I'm like, that's weird. And then I felt the breezes, and I'm like, so I was married at the time. He said to my husband, he said, did you come in the bathroom? And he goes, no, I wasn't in there. I said, really? And then I looked over, and I realized why she did it. Because every day I would put on my makeup, I was sleeping. And she was watching me. I felt like joy. Wow. But I mean, I'm weird that way. People's presence, and they're there to us, and that's what I think about your presence. You're going to know, and you'll feel those good times. Fill them with good, not sadness. Others come in place. Remember, true. This would be nice. This would be so nice. He loved me so much. First year or two, it was just come down and stay in the hotel, and then we come back and forth to Maryland. And I remember the first time we did it, he loved it. Yes. So when Matt and I were talking, and he said, "What do you think about benches?" I said, "Great idea, Matt. That's perfect." And then Anthony wants to put a flagpole right between the two, so that'll also be there. But they had to get this done first.
One hall I'm the director of the CRA, Midtown CRA. So Midtown's going a lot. Talk about different projects and stuff like that in the pipeline. Great guy to work with. Didn't know he was an artist though. This is the thing. I'm an artist too. I didn't know it. I had no idea.
He loved it. And that was what he wanted. He was ready to retire to really focus on. When he was down here, he focused on trying to master.
Those are the days.
drawing.
Those are the
Maybe
days
that's why
before.
he was trying to master. He never felt like he never faced it. So he focused more on
Three boys.
where in the years past.
Described as a ball of boy.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Like at any given moment.
Somebody would come over like, oh here, take it again. And so, or he would paint two things, one on the front and one on the back, and so you could choose which one you want.
Haircuts. How you doing, Glenn? Didn't realize he was in DC. I was in DC for like almost 10 years.
He was in Minneapolis, and then I moved to, after my brother passed away, I moved to Alabama. My mom, dad's commute was 2 hours. Yeah, his commute was getting 2 hours of each way, so they bought the house in Alabama. She kind of spent more time there because she went through with the church. And then he got an apartment in Bethesda.
Yeah, I was in Old Town. You gotta say DC because nobody else knows what the hell's going on.
Oh yeah. Well, I remember when we went up to they were looking to live in Minneapolis and where to into DC, where to live, and they loved Alabama.
Yeah, I loved Old Town. I gotta be by the water.
Yeah, Dad, the commute was in the sun both ways.
So that's what he liked it?
That's what he didn't like.
Really?
That's why he didn't do Alexander.
Because the sun, he didn't like.
He didn't want to drive in the sun.
Oh, okay. Well, I took the train. I mean, why?
He would have never done that.
But I'm just saying.
You get a lot done all the time.
I mean, that's the point? I never used to drive my car to the weekend. It's got a yellow and red line. I mean, that's it.
He drove a 1980 station wagon for 2 years. People in the parking lot ran.
Yeah. Parking in DC, you just don't do it. It's horrible. The prices, fun, it's harder. And it's like it's kind of crazy. It's almost like an Ethiopian mafia that controls the parking there. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, parking in DC is horrible. That would drive anybody crazy. That's why I'll take a train. You know, so
funny. Yeah, he's driving into DC with a 1980 station wagon in Alabama. That was perfect, but in DC,
no.
every time you pull in the garage, what car is it? A 1980s Oldsmobile station wagon, big, huge, with the Woody? It was a Woody? Well, it was the newer version of the Woody.
Oh my God!
I'm a car in DC, I love cars. He had one spot in the garage they could park there, and the guys were fine. They didn't want to park it. Everyone else had little Toyotas. So I think that lasted about 2 years, and he got rid of the station wagon. This is not the car for Washington DC.
Yeah. No. You gotta take a train. I was there for like almost 10 years. Took the IDB. It was nice. And I like Alexandria. Old Town is nice because you had a kind of Key West kind of vibe and older buildings and on the water. If I'm not by the water, I can't handle it. That's why I could never live in Atlanta for long. You can have water. I gotta be able to see this. Right. Yeah, you gotta have some water. Good seeing you. Take care, all right?
Thank you.
All right, take care.
That's it. Pulled it out.
That's pretty quick.
I mean, the story about the poop was perfect. I mean,
Right, yeah. But see, you said it is
The whole thing is hilarious. Like, you talk about some kids vandalizing.
Hey, nice to meet you. Good luck. All right.
I'm just looking at this going, this is my fox. And the whole newsletter starts off with an apology for offending people. So,
I'm sure he was something. He must have been talking about it.
yeah.
it's a pleasure to finally meet you.
It is.
This is my wife, Linda.
Nice to meet you. Sorry, everyone. I'm a teacher bus driver, so I begin. I actually get started
I just said,
I
yes,
get
we should train.
nonstop.
And then I
get home
go
at
home.
Oh, I bet. I didn't know.
Well, this is a really ugly bird. I mean, he told me he was kind of an ugly, pretty bird. I know it's not
Two strangers, so.
I can do something like
No,
that.
and I got to the point where I stopped looking at his phone. Like, I would just look at it once a day because just in past 4 days, anything to Matthew that comes through. And he got all some Thank you. Thank you for coming so much.
Thank you for sharing. Like you said, thank you for sharing him with me. Even though we're 3 years president, he definitely instilled in me work ethic and trust in me. So he did inspire me as well. He inspired me to do a lot that I'm doing right now. He's the main reason why I'm here. So I like I said, thank you. Thank you. He's a great man. You guys enjoy the rest of the weekend. Yeah,
thank you.
To go to.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Yes, sir. Tyler. Yeah, good to see you.
So I hope I wasn't out of line talking.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That is so helpful.
I'm telling you, what he
I
didn't
know
say is,
that.
I think I slept with my shoes
Well, we get up in the morning. I go to the door. He's like, "Hey,"
on. And
he goes, "You want to hop on?" I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, but I was just like, I know. It's just like, who does this? That's exactly what it was. I'm like, Drew goes, Linda, do you need to borrow my T-shirt? I'm like, no. I'm just like this.
When he had his real estate company in Alabama, every month, I don't know if he told you, but he would have sponsor a local artist and invite, and he had 250 agents. And so each agent would invite all their clients, and then artists would get all their offers, and they would have a
Gallery show.
In his office, and then and so every month, the whole time we had it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he loved it. It was really, it was neat growing up there.
I love that.
And my mom, she did all the food for it. Yeah, everything. So,
Poor Betsy got none of the artsy stuff.
I got none of it. He tried. He sent me to a Shaw who he worked under when he was a kid. Everything helped. And, but I didn't get that deal.
He won't even let me be his dictionary.
Yeah.
You're not. You're the scorekeeper. Just sit over there.
My
Do whatever you do.
My brother could do
That's a what?
fine drawing. My daughter's amazing, but me, didn't get it. So,
Oh, well.
I lived through him.
Too bad his personality. No, he was amazing. He was fantastic.
He loved to think about all his art and all the artists. I wrote a bio about it. So we would go. This was during COVID, so something happened. So we, not about what to do with anything else, but know who the artists were and how.
Oh, very cool.
Because we learned about a year and a half ago, and he calls her phone. Linda, this is Owen Duke. You remember me? I'm like, yes.
Only time I slept with my shoes on.
We didn't tell him that. Yeah, we were over time. And then once our daughter started having grandbabies, we were just going back and forth every week. I said, let's just go back home. And so we still hang our license with our firm up here in New Beach.
Yeah. Because
Real
it's
estate.
great. You know, you support,
Yeah.
it's a family business. And there's nothing like that over there. So I said, if I'm going to do this.
And then she's in Jacksonville, which is
not too bad.
6 hours.
Oh, you're right. That's all the way up.
It's like, that's a long weekend.
That's a long,
Especially when you drive across.
boring drive. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, across the panhandle. Yes. But you're fortunate.
I have not. I know you.
I'm under the weather, so
okay. I know every bit of you.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to find out when did y'all start working together?
So Owen and I met 15 years ago. But so I remember there was a restaurant called Big City in Los Angeles.
Our mom is watching. Say hi. Say this is Bryson.
Hey, how you doing?
Just she couldn't make it.
Oh, no worries.
I didn't want to embarrass you, but
Yeah, no, you're good. It was like one of those you plan on having like a hour-long lunch. It was like 2.5 hours, and we stayed in touch. And then I was working at another firm, and we tried to buy the building that Owen bought. And then maybe 6 years ago, 7 years ago,
that was with Peter. That was 8,000 people, right?
Yep.
I remember when I was going on. He came in, he was showing us. I think y'all were in the process of that. And,
Doing all the renovations?
Yeah. Well, no, in the process of getting it.
Oh, buying it. Yeah.
So I was talking about it. But yeah, but I'm gonna have to manage it. You're not support. So,
about it. He felt like, actually, I agree with him. He felt like a reasonable amount, not like full throttle, was good. It was good. Kept him sharp.
We saw a lot of stuff.
We talked about that a lot.
And he did start to balance it out. Though. Like on the weekends, it was it. Nobody, was one.
Yeah.
And he would read and watch some movies or do whatever he wanted to do. I have a start on the
I got 15 books for Owen.
Dude.
Yeah. I've read all but 3. There's some Carl Hyacinth books that I have.
Yeah, those are actually pretty good. Those are good car with kids. Listen to in the car. Because every time he would sing one, like that was our car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're great audio books.
I'll see.
And they're great for kids. Most of them. I think we don't just did an adult one, but there's a lot of the kids. Like Boot, it's great for kids.
It's really good.
I can't. How old are your kids?
They are 10.
Oh yeah.
12, 14.
Oh, these are all Carl.
They're good.
Oh, every one of them are good. All of the kids' books are great for that age. Yeah, really good. He loved that he was from this area. So, he always had 3 or 4 books.
Well, he made it a special place. I was just telling Michael Slater and Jason, the city manager. Owen was like a rare person. Like he really wanted these like win-win scenarios, and so really very few people advocate for something outside of like what's in their best interest. And Owen was always just advocating for what's right. And because he did that, there was just an incredible amount of credibility that came with it. Just kind of spoke testaments. He was able to bridge. In fact, some of the stuff that he had been working on, like got to the city of Plantation. I mean, most of the people that were advocating for it were like younger adults that wanted more like affordable housing. Owen was the only one that was, mature, had the life's wisdom, because most people at that phase of life, they were just like, I already got one.
Yeah.
And they just didn't want more traffic, or, what I mean? Owen was like, hey, look, not everywhere, but in a certain area, it makes sense here,
He could see it. He really could.
It was very nice. Beautiful. Sure. I wasn't going to, and then when he said, third chance,
yeah.
All right, I got to.
Okay.
Plus, I got poked by that cactus, so
Oh, yeah.
it's like a little nudge, like, go.
It's like a needle. Yeah.
Go.
Get a vaccine. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, you said you guys were coming up north. Literally, you go through
I
Vermont.
hope
Let us
yeah.
know.
I will in the next year or 2.
Okay.
That's the plan. I would love to this summer. I don't really know yet.
Straight around a little bit, or
Yeah, my plan is to spend the summer in Nova Scotia and all that.
Okay. Yeah.
And then to come down and do Boston. I never did Boston. Dad went with Lynn on the way to Providence. So I want to do Boston. So my goal is to go up Vermont, over, and then down, spend the whole summer.
Okay.
So don't know when I'll be able to go.
Place to stay.
Awesome. I'm dying to see Vermont. That's my bucket. That's what my bucket is.
We're right in the mix of the mountains.
Love it.
Is the dead of winter the best time to go?
Yeah, well, I wish. One day I will be able to. Unfortunately, I'm stuck with school time.
No, I actually
Yeah.
think the summer's possible. I mean, I could be wrong, but I
Well,
guess the summer's great.
Fall is
Okay.
spectacular.
One day I will do the
It's,
fall.
the trees and the mountains. People come just for that. Buses, by the busload, just to see the foliage. But,
One day I'll get to do that. So one day I'm gonna.
well, right. Sweet.
I'm planning 3 years. I can do that.
What year do you? What
I-
grade?
I am 7th grade.
Oh,
7th grade social studies.
I
Yeah.
did some substitute teaching in the last 4 years.
Oh yeah, did you?
This is my least favorite.
Yeah.
Seventh grade, probably a tough year,
It
right?
is.
Like,
Oh, yeah. 7th and 8th. 7th grade is.
Yeah,
I can compare the 8th grade. 7th graders, they'll annoy you and do all that stuff, but eventually they'll tell you the truth. 8th graders just flat out lie.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, so it's but I guess that's what I'm used to.
Well,
But
and you probably know how to handle them, but as a
But
substitute,
they're
it's
so
like,
and the computers are just messed everything up. So that's where I see a problem. So is the computers.
the phones and the.
We state of Alabama has banned phones in in school.
In school.
They should. Stay in school. If they're caught, they're every county has everything, but if you pull it out, if it's seen whatsoever, it's a suspension. One day, the next time it's 2 days, the next time it's 3, and it just keeps.
They're just not supposed to even have an on them.
We have this
Leave them
pouch
home?
they're supposed to put in,
Oh, okay.
and I don't know if that's going to last next year, but at least the discipline's a lot stricter, and the fact that it's backed by the state. So
That's good.
are they still sneaking it? Yes.
Sure.
They always will be. Next thing else, they take the computers back out.
So when you say that they have computers at their desk,
They have one-to-one Chromebook. We started with Apple actually for 5 years. You were one of the ones with Apple. Every student had an Air in our county.
oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Those are expensive, aren't they?
But they hold up. The difference is they might have cost a lot of money, but the Chromebooks fall apart. But after about 5 years, a new superintendent came in. They changed it to Chromebooks, so it's one-to-one. The problem is it's issued to them. So like for us to take it as their computer, we can't do that.
When you say one-to-one, you mean they're learning through the computer?
Well, each one has their own. But they use too much online software for teaching. I think. That's what I see.
I can see that. My kids are.
After kids are going to a charter school, that they don't do any computer. They go to computer lab once a week, because they still have to take the Florida State test.
banana. It's like Ben.
But and they have to teach them how to.
And then everyone's like,
But other than that, they have no computer. And I am now saying that I think I agree with that.
Use it as okay, everybody get your Chromebooks and half an hour do your math.
You can't stop them. Like they can get, they know all the frequencies to get out of the and get off. They can. It's amazing. How these
They
steps
get out of the protected
Oh yeah.
more than the teaching yourself.
Oh yeah.
Change it all up.
They can text and chat to all these different websites. It's wild what they
I
can
think
do.
they're doing math out there. Oh, they're doing so
Play a
good.
video game.
And oh yeah, and you can't catch them. You could be standing right next to them, and they're so fast with it.
Really?
And I'm like, if you could just put that focus on doing
Right.
this. So it is definitely
God bless you. That's a hard job.
changed a lot. I see that actually some states are taking them away now, getting back into let's go back to paper pen and all that.
Especially at the younger ages, up through 8th grade.
A lot of the states, elementary schools, they want 70% of in all writing. So we'll see. I'll be retired by the time it happens. But no, it's changed. So I appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
I know
Back up.
y'all staying.
It's just me.
Okay.
I just got an extra day. My brother lives by, so get a chance to see him.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome.
Hi. Sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
I work for the city. I've known Owen about 4 years.
Oh, wow. Hi. It's nice to meet you.
This was nice.
Thank you. Matthew.
So we started dating about 10 years ago. And one of our first dates, I brought her here. She was a plantation resident. We made out on the
On the bridge. On the bridge. That's awesome. When I first came here, that was his office.
I did tell Owen that story. I should have said it here. I completely forgot.
Look, that was his first office. Is left there, and he just loved it. And he just loved doing everything to make it a great place. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Yeah, he left the thing saying he wanted us to have a so this was Matthew said, well, we're going to do it anyway. And then it's not on you. It's not a service. It's not on you. That's right. It's not on you. It's celebrate. So I'm like, I can't. He wrote that, and I kind of go against that. Like, we're doing it. You're not doing it.
Sometimes it's data.
But yeah, he really.
You live
I live in Alabama, and my mom, that's who she's been watching through Facebook Live. With my other daughter had a baby a month ago, and so, and my mom. they're watching it. But we live in Alabama. Fairhope. Right on the water on Mobile Bay.
Is that where he was from? Or?
Mobile. Yeah, it was just right on the other side. Where I grew up when I was a senior, we moved to that house. He lived all the way up until then. Yes, no. But he always wanted to do real estate in Washington, D.C. He had the opportunity, so he jumped in. And he's loved it ever since. So, he did a great job, Matthew.
I'm so glad. I'm glad everybody else got up there to speak. Uplifting that laughter, that story, that's it right there.
I told Drew his story was epic.
Yes.
Also, Drew gave you
She was telling me she actually slept with her shoes in.
James was spraying me out. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to do something real quick. Put this here. I really don't know if I can. I think I'm seeing it. I'm gonna go do the. I'm walking around with this. I know. That's my mom and my brother.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It sounds like he could be a fashion designer. The way he
Everything.
the way he steps in.
Actually, it's funny. I was just trying to go through some pictures, and I found the photograph of that house.
This?
Yeah, that he used because he has a line drawn out. You know, like he did. And that's the blessing in the Bible battery. So each year they go out before the season. They go and bless all the shrimp boats. And that's my brother.
Oh, this?
Yes, and I think that's actually in Monday. And it came out on Friday.
Wow.
I love it. And a lot of these are like those. A lot of his really
I noticed that. Yeah, I can tell by the
this was in D.C. right outside, I think near where he was. That one right there.
Yeah.
He had an office on 17th and Farragut Square. He loved it. It was during the Island trials, and Oliver North's lawyer was right outside the window, and so every day the entourage would show up, and they would all get out and go into that office, and he would sit there every day and watch. And he loved it. He loved every bit of that.
So tell me what's
this is the blessing.
You don't mind if we take this? We'll send that.
In Bible Battery, in Alabama, where it's a shrimp boat town, and every year, in the spring, whenever the shrimp season starts, they have something called the Blessing in the Fleet, and they go and they have a big celebration, and they bless all the boats as they go out to start the season. And so we used to go every year, and he'd take pictures and paint.
That's very cool.
So we have.
I only saw his truck. I never saw all of it. Like, this is super talent. He just played it down.
Yeah. And a lot of the ones I don't have. A lot of his good ones I don't have pictures of because he always gave them away. Like my favorite ones are both his sister and my mom's sister have a sailboat. They're just gorgeous. Gorgeous.
I told Drew when we were looking at some of these photos, it's incredible. Because Drew used to say, when I talk to Owen, I feel like I'm talking to my dad. Yeah. And Drew's dad passed 4 years ago. And I'm telling you, that picture right there, and there's one over here. I told Drew, and they could be twins during that time in their lives. Yeah, I mean, the hair, the face shape, the expression. I said no, and I'm like, no wonder, because it was yeah, Drew loved coming over here. He'd go up and see Owen, and he wouldn't get home until 10 or 11 o'clock at night. He'd leave at 5:30 in the morning, to beat traffic.
We have dinner first. What? Don't wait up.
You can take your shoes off. You don't have to sleep in your
draw
shoes.
something, and that was the Christmas present every year.
Yeah.
For everybody. And so, like a couple of years, he had the ficus, and each year it was like the ficus in its different stages, or different houses that he loved. And we just do a sketch of.
Look, he made you a portrait on his
Right?
That's
Might be my first.
such a pleasure. Your dad, it's funny you talk about, it reminded me of your dad. My dad passed 5 years ago, he was 95. Similar generation, my dad was also an artist. So I'm going through, and my dad passed all the quotes, all the things he pulled up, the things he wrote down, going through all my dad's paintings. And like you, some people have my favorites and yours. It's like for babies to be given away. Well, I was just saying to Matthew, and I wish I'd known this. We'd see each other at meetings and hello, how are you? But we didn't know this. And I said, that's funny, and I pride myself on it, especially because my dad's an artist. We're doing more with art, and that was our art festival. I wish I'd known that. So I said to Matthew today, let's look at doing something to honor him in that realm, because that would obviously mean a lot to him. But we'll work on something.
Thank you. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much.
Nice meeting you.
Thanks for coming down. Beautiful work.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
So much. It means so much. It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
When he owned his real estate company, every month he would host a artist, and all the agents would send their client lists out, and they would all come for a big party. And my mom would do all the food, and then all the artwork from that artist is there. And so, all the clients got to know the artist and everything. And so, for years, he would do this. And he always, in DC, he was always, if there was a building he was leasing, he was always trying to put a gallery in there.
And so we try to do more of that in City too. And that's what I love. He was a great businessman. He was always such a cool gentleman. But there was so much creativity and depth there and sensitivity, which I love. Listen, I know you're going to look, I can still talk to my dad about my dad. I know. But, not only the legacy of the family, but everybody that he's influenced here, and I mean, the mentorship is just
University driving. Oh my God. And it's still not that.
Did they really? Oh, that's so good.
What's going on here?
They're giving too much good advice.
And you say that correct? Kindly. I get it. So I understand perfectly.
Hi, how are you? I'm Denise. Nice to meet you.
Everything he did, he loved it.
Yeah, see, that was like my dad, because he grew up, I was saying that my dad was also an artist. I lost him 5 years ago at the age of 95, and he grew up poor Irish, and it's funny, because there are similarities with your dad. Your dad grew up in Alabama and grew up in New York City, but there were so many similarities there. The same thing, my dad lost his dad at 5 years old, and so we had men, right? Yeah. But it's really, it's incredible. Because I know thank you, that happened to belong to me. I don't wear a lot of gold or diamonds, but it was my husband's grandmother's. So I pull it out every once in a while. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, what an honor. And Councilmember Fadgen and I would say, only conflict that we had with your dad was recently, and I'm very proud of what we did, but we brought Habitat for Humanity in, because everybody always said, you're never going to get any affordable housing in place. So we brought Habitat in, and we offered it to our employees first. Just about 16 townhomes. And he was coming to the council meetings, and he called each one of us, and then But he did was gracious enough to come back and say, I was wrong. I understand now. You know, he was worried about those contributing. Those are only time for you.
Then you did well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I understand back in that might not
Well,
be what you, but
where he's,
I know.
his whole lifespan. He's
Sure.
in the real estate field. Absolutely.
Yeah, and he's concerned about what I do. So, yeah, I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
And there's another one where I have everyone wanted to get. How often did you put in the big things? Not as much as I wanted to.
Yeah. I'm a teacher.
That's just mustard.
But that was what they were told to do.
It was fun when we came. Sure. I mean, he always shows a good time.
Yes.
We came to the Christmas party and had out
Oh,
there 1 year.
yeah. Oh, wow.
It's beautiful.
That was before property.
Yeah.
This.
Out there by itself.
Yeah, such a great property.
He was really forward about having to talk so much. Really
Yeah, we could see him slowing down. He would come to the council. He started coming to the council meetings more, which is funny. You know, and he'd sit through them, and some of them were long, but he still wanted to be involved. And we loved having him on the town board because he had so much historical knowledge of the city. So it was important that we had his input.
I think a lot of people had the building for that side.
So is your mom with you?
She's now I couldn't make it.
But the cypress, if it's sustainable, I might have asked my question. If we cut a lot of cypress down, is it sustainable?
That's what she is.
Didn't think at first she was, but then all of a sudden, boom, she was back going.
Yes, she was doing great, and then messed with her heart more. Yeah, my daughter just had a baby. They're together.
Okay.
Yeah, next one live. The plan was as Christmas happened, and
That's one thing that's my mom's on 5 now. It's like one thing.
and love that movie. Not happening. So I can get it now. I don't know if I can get it now.
And that's tough. Coming to the house.
But I did get rid of the CDL. Drive on that school bus. I don't know.
Well, thank you for sharing it with us. We're really honored to be here today. Oh, absolutely. And taking a little bit of turkey back.
You left notice that you not want us. I'm going to have something, so it's not on you.
Yeah. I know we kept asking, like, Matthew, when are we doing something? When are we doing something?
I'm torn because right here it says.
Yeah.
And it was a little odd thing. I'm like, it says that don't do that. I said, you know what? We're going to do it. And this is not on you.
And it's yeah.
He was literally,
Oh, yeah, I don't mean, I just mean
yeah.
Celebration.
Yeah, it was intentional. Yeah, it was like, all these pictures he had been like,
Right. And we all got to know him a little bit better. So thank you for that.
yeah, we got to know all about it too. Yeah, I told him I was going to contact him about doing a picture tour.
We got money.
Yeah. And she said,
Let's see. I want to retire sometime.
Yeah. Amazing, my way. I'm going to take a look around a little bit
All right.
again.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry on this one.
I haven't taken a picture. I haven't seen this. Everybody's right here, so let me show this. There's a dad going, oh, next. Pictures. We're on Facebook. So. His old cell phone. Artwork. I want to get a picture of the art.
Yes. Oh, he did? Oh, that's great.
All right, that's by Drew Irvine. All right, see you later, Mom. I gotta turn this off.